Yes, good morning, 8th class. Yesterday we have discussed about the constitution, why there is a need of the constitution. Today I am going to discuss some of the features with you. Look, dear students, preamble. First of all, what is preamble? Preamble is the very first page of the chapter which tell us about the nature of the constitution. Look, this is the preamble first page. So some of the points they have also written, the features they have also written, and one by one we just discuss all the things. And many other features are there that we also discuss one by one today. So we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved, it's a type of oath to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure all its citizens. Means wholeheartedly we are saying that we are a citizen of a country and we all follow these features. So first one is justice. Justice means that everybody is equal before the law. So on all the bases, social, economic and political, we all are equal. The next thing is liberty. Liberty means that we all are free in our country. Means we have the right to freedom. Next is the equality. As I've discussed with you, that equality means status, the status that is equal to everyone. Fraternity. It assured the dignity of an individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November, that is 1949, hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. So these were the features they have taken by that time, the features they have decided. So now I'm going to discuss with you one by one. Values of the Constitution. First of all, we, the people of India, the Constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representative and not handed down to them by a king or any outside power. Means, as we know that all the powers they are in the hands of the common people. So no powers were handed over to the king. The directly or indirectly the powers they were in the hands of common people. Sovereign. People have the supreme right to make decision to internal as well as the external matters. No external power can dictate the government of India. Means no power outside the country can interfere in the working of India. Next is a socialist. Wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally to the society. The government try to reduce the inequalities. So on the basis of social inequalities, the things they were banned by the side of the government, like the social inequality on the basis of caste, it was banned by the side of the government, and the gender discrimination, it also banned by the government, and equal rights are given to a girl or a boy. Secular. The people have the freedom to follow any religion. In India, there is no official religion. Means in India, our government is having no religion. The government treating all the religions equally. So it does not promote any one religion as a official religion. So on the next page, we will just discuss one by one and okay. Points to noted means the need of the constitution. Again, the Constitution of India is the supreme law. Means it is the law making body, you can say. So nobody is above the constitution. It lays down the framework defining political principles. It always frame all the rules and regulations. It established the structure, procedure, powers and duties of the government institution. Means it asks the government to follow some rules and regulations, and it always make all the procedures and then it is followed by the government institution. Sets out fundamental rights, and six fundamental rights are given to us from the constitution. Directive principles and duties. Some directive principles means the duties, they are also written for the ministers and the citizen also. It repeated criticism is that it is very little original and mostly borrowed from other constitution. Yes, my dear students, some of the past parts of the constitution, they are taken by from other countries also, like from Britain also. We have taken some of the points because in some areas the Britain have has framed a good laws for the constitution. So our constitution also has taken the some points from the Britain. Nevertheless, it has distinctive features of its own and is unique in many ways. As I have told you, that it is the lengthiest written constitution in India. The first one, uh, that is the separation of powers. So Indian government, you can say judicial on the basis of judiciary also, legislative, executive, and judiciary. These are the parts of the government, or you can say the separation of powers are there. Means the legislative, it makes the laws, the executive, it execute the law, and judiciary, it maintain the law. Next is the federalism. So federalism means on the basis of when the three organs are there, like central, state, central, or you can say the national, state, and village level. The there is a separation of power, but still they are having some power sharing also. So like to maintain law and order, build highways, borrow money, charter banks, establish courts, maintain the taxes. So such kind are there. Different kind of things are there which can be shared by the federalism. Means at the time of emergency, the central level, it can interfere anywhere. As I've told you that constitution, they are having the different areas for framing a law, and how it law will be framed is framed, that will be discussed in other chapters, how a bill becomes a law. So such kind of things we will discuss in our next chapter. It is followed by a proper procedure. Means not a single person, or you can say not the prime minister alone can take all the decisions, but many people together, as they form the government. So together, with the help of the prime minister and other ministers, they together take a decision and then frame a law. So fundamental rights, next one is this. So as I've told you that six fundamental rights are given to us. First one is the right to equality. That means we are equal before the law. Next is the right to freedom. Right to freedom means that we are having the right to move freely in our country. Right against exploitation, this is the next one. So if any of the fundamental right is exploited by any other person, so for that we can move to the court and make a complaint against that. Next is the right to freedom of religion. That means we are free from the side of the government to adopt any religion. Means the government is not able to force us to adopt any religion, because the government is not having any official religion. Cultural and educational rights, as we are living here and different types of people, or the belong to the different communities, they are living in this area in India, I want to say. So all are having their cultural and educational rights. Means they can impart the education in their minority group, so nobody can stop them for doing so. Means if they want to give their cultural education or want to impart their cultural practices to the kids, so nobody can stop them. Next is the right to constitutional remedies. As we know कि it was the constitution was framed in 1950. It was uh, came into the light in 1950. So up to now we have done many of the amendments in constitution. So it's a right if we need or if we feel that it's a need of the era that we have to make some amendments in constitution, so we can by following the proper procedure. Secularism. Secularism means, as I've told you, no official religion. Why we have selected this feature? Because under the Britishers they forced some of the Indians to adopt Christianity at that time. So that feature was adopted due to that. So nobody can force anyone to adopt any religion. It's on our personal extent or wish that we can adopt any of the religion, or we can change our religion. From the side of the constitution, nobody can force us, because in Indian constitution the government is not having any official religion. So uh, we have discussed many of the points here, like secularism, democratic republic, that all the powers they are in the hands of common people. Next I have discussed with you, that is the uh, rights, fundamental rights. So we have discussed, and we have discussed about the separation of powers. We have discussed about the different organs of the government. So all the features we have discussed it. So in this chapter the two main important questions are there. One is the key features of constitution, and second, why do we need a constitution? And one mark question can be there कि who was the chairman of the Indian constitution? That was the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And or within 3 marks only the headings can be there, कि write down the headings or your key features of Indian constitution. But this question can be there in 5 marks when the explanation is there, means they're asked to write the explanation of these points, so you can write that also. So this is all for the day, and next we will do in the next video.